Hey Kai, you want some cooking, don't you know?
Yeah, sure, you betcha.
Aye, we got ourselves a little pickle, eh?
Aye, what's the problem, eh?
There's only one piece left, don't you know?
Aye, well, I've got a solution so that we can split it equally, man.
Okay, so here's what we need to know. We need to know the half angle formulas. The half angle formula for sine is the square root of 1 minus the cosine all over 2. And that's going to be plus or minus because this depends on what quadrant we're in. The half angle formula for cosine is going to be plus or minus the square root of 1 plus cosine all over 2. Lastly, the tangent half angle formula equals the plus or minus square root of 1 minus cosine over 1 plus cosine, because tangent is sine over cosine, so the sine over cosine is the tangent value. Our pi piece has an angle of 60 degrees, and the cosine and sine values are listed here. Cosine would be the square root of 3 over 2, and the sine value would be 1/2. We are going to use the sine half angle formula to find the sine value of half of the piece of our pie. So, we are going to use the sine half angle formula to figure out half of our piece of pie. So we're going to have sine of 60 degrees over 2, and that's going to be equal to the plus or minus square root of 1 minus cosine of 60 degrees all over 2. And we know since it's in the first quadrant, the answer is going to be positive. So this would equal the square root of 1 minus 1/2, because the cosine of 60 degrees equals 1/2 all over 2. And then when you simplify, you're going to get 1/2 over 2, and that's all in the square root. That would equal the square root of 1 over 4, and that equals 1/2, which makes sense because half of 60 is 30 degrees, and we're trying to find the sine of half of 60, which is 30 degrees, and that equals 1/2. Now, to check our work, we can find the cosine value, which would be cosine of 60 over 2, which equals plus or minus the square root of 1 plus cosine of 60 all over 2, which would equal the square root of 1 plus 1/2 all over 2. And this is, again, in the first quadrant, so we know that it's positive, which this would equal 3/2 all over 2, which would equal the square root of 3 over 4, which simplifies down to the square root of 3 over 2, which makes sense because the cosine of half of 60 degrees, 30 degrees, is the square root of 3 over 2.
Alright, so with all this math, split it at 30 degrees. Right here. I'm a wee bit parched. Want to get something to drink?
Oh, she eating it? She's eating it. She's eating it.